Hi, it's the Tiny One slash Bishie, and it is, I almost forgot what the date was. It's December 30th, it's the day before New Year's Eve, but I'm going to be recording Vlogmas Day 22. Finally figured out a couple, the last 3 ideas I needed for Vlogmas, and I'm going to record one today. Alexa, stop. And I'm going to record one tomorrow, two either later tonight when I get off work or tomorrow. Actually, no, I need to record them later on today because tomorrow I'm going to be off to Daredreamer's house for her and Sage, hang around with them for New Year's. But anyways, that was my timer. I'm also in the middle of cooking, so let me go deal with that. And the next clip you'll see is what's the tea. Okay, stirred my food. Let's see what's on the 22nd. Should be right here. Are we done with all these on this side? Yeah. So the last two are just going to be on this side. Okay. Alright, so we got, Melbourne breakfast. This is one of the teas that I really like. Because, of course, it's a black tea. Let's see. When the winds start howling, this brew will see you through. Indulge a low with this full-body vanilla sweet tea. Bound to keep you cozy all year round, sip it up Melbourne style. So it's perfect on its own or with a dash of milk. Let's see what the ingredients are. Black tea, natural and artificial vanilla flavor. Real simple. Okay, I'm off to steep. Okay, and because I just finished cooking, this will be a tea vlog slash mukbang, I guess, because I'm going to be enjoying my food too. So I've let this cool a bit because I was dealing with food stuff. Let's see how this tastes. Now, before, what I said about it was, if you've had breakfast tea before, then you have an idea what this tea is like. If you haven't, then regular breakfast tea is best served in the morning instead of coffee. Add a little milk or cream and a little sugar. The difference is vanilla. The difference is vanilla is added, which makes this really yummy with milk and a little sugar. Also, I'm glad my low battery things still work because it looks like they want to start coming off. Alright, so I want to do a vlog today about something. Sorry, I had a wrapper in the way. Not, but candy wrapper. I want to talk about something a bit bizarre, or two bizarre things that I remember growing up and playing. And one of those things is the E.T. video game. Yes, it was an extraterrestrial video game. It was made by Atari. And let me read you what the wiki has to say about it. E.T. the Extraterrestrial, also referred to as E.T., is a 1982 adventure video game developed and published by Atari Incorporated for the Atari 2600 video game console. It's based on the film of the same name and was designed by Howard Scott Warshaw. The object of the game is to guide the eponymous character through various screens in a Q world to collect 3 pieces of an interplanetary telephone which allow him to connect to his home planet. Warshaw intended the game to be an innovative adaptation of the film, and Atari thought it would achieve high sale figures based on its connection of the film, which was extremely popular throughout the world. Negotiations to secure the rights to make the game ended in late July 1982, giving Warshaw only 5.5 weeks to develop the game in time for the 1982 Christmas season. Also, I still am a bit sick, Oh, hold on, man. I need to delete stuff. Fun. It wouldn't be a video of mine without me deleting stuff. And watch. Once I actually get a vlog camera, I'll be doing the same thing. Watch. The final release was critically planned, with nearly every aspect of the gaming facing heavy criticism. Ichi is often cited as one of the worst video games of all time and one of the biggest commercial failures in video game history. It is cited as a major contributing factor to the video game industry crash of 1983 and has been frequently referenced and mocked in popular culture as a cautionary tale about the dangers of rushed game development and studio interference. In what was initially deemed an urban legend, reports from 1983 stated that as a result of overproduction, this is what I made. Hamburger helper. I got nothing on that bite. As a result of overproduction and returns, millions of unsold cartridges were secretly buried in a Alamo Gordo, New Mexican landfill and covered with a layer of concrete. Oh my god. In April 2014, diggers hired to investigate the claim confirmed that the landfill contained many ET cartridges among other games. I'd love to know what other games are there. James Heller, the former Ichi Atari manager, who was in charge of the burial, was also at the excavation and admitted to the Associated Press that 728,000 cartridges of various games were buried. Oh my god, I didn't know I was gonna unearth this as I talked about. Gameplay. E.T. is an adventure game in which players control an alien, E.T., from a top-down perspective. The objective of the game is to collect 3 pieces of an interplanetary telephone. The pieces are found scattered randomly throughout various pits, also referred to as wells. The player is provided with an on-screen energy bar which decreases when ET performs any actions, including moving, teleporting, or falling into a pit, as well as levitating back to the top. Now, what was kind of creepy is when you fall into the pit, sometimes, well, this isn't the creepy part, sometimes you have a flower that's dead. And so you open your mouth really wide and the flower comes back to life. That's also how you get out of the pit. You open your mouth super wide and then you kind of just float up to the top of the pit. To prevent this, E.T. can collect Reese's Pieces, which are used to restore his energy, or when 9 are collected, E.T. can call Elliot to obtain a piece of the telephone, or the player can save the candy pieces for bonus points at the end. After the 3 phone pieces have been collected, the player must guide E.T. to an area where he can use the phone, which allows him to call his home planet. When the call is made, E.T. must reach the spaceship in a given time limit. This seems very complex for an Atari game. Once E.T. gets to the forest where his ship abandoned him and stands and waits in the designated area for the ship to come, the ship will appear on screen and take him back to his home planet. Then the game starts over with the same difficulty level, while changing location of the phone pieces. The score obtained during the round is carried over to the next iteration. The game ends when the energy bar is depleted. E.T. has 3 lives, and if he dies within those 3 lives, Elliot will come in and revive him. E.T. can get a 4th life if the player is lucky enough to find a geranium in one of the wells, the flower. It turned into a sprite from some games that Howard Warshaw made, such as Raiders of the Lost Ark. The game is divided into 6 environments, each representing a different scene from the film. To accomplish the objective of the game, the player must guide Ichi into the wells. Once all items found in a well are collected, the player must levitate Ichi out of them. An icon at the top of each screen represents the current area, each area enabling the player to perform different actions. Antagonists include a scientist who takes Ichi for observation, and an FBI agent who chases the alien to confiscate one of the collected telephone pieces or candy. The game offers diverse difficulty settings which affect the number and speed of humans present and the conditions needed to accomplish. Oh my god. So yeah, intense. Now I remember playing this game with my cousin when we both got Atari systems. I was the one who got the game, but I would bring it over to his house, and it was just, it was crazy. Development. Following the commercial success of the film in June 1982, this is kind of boring. Let's read reception. Anticipation for E.T. was high in 1982, and it was sought after Christmas gift in early December 1982. The New York Times reported that video games based on successful movies, specifically E.T., would become an increasingly profitable source for video game development. At first, retailers ordered more supplies than what was expected to be sold, but Atari received an increasing number of order cancellations as new competitors entered the market, an event the company had not anticipated. John Hubert and William Kistner of InfoWorld attributed the cancellation to changes Atari initiated in its relationship to distributors. On November 1st, 1982, Atari informed that the contracts were canceled and that executive deals would be established with select distributors. Herbert, they both believed that the action prompted retailers to cancel orders which Atari had not properly tracked. E.T. met with initial commercial success. It was among the top 4 on Billboard magazine's top 15 video games sales list in December 1982 and January 1983. The game eventually sold 1.5 million units, which is a lot back then. However, between 2.5 and 3.5 million cartridges went unsold, and one retailer said that mostly grandmothers bought the game, an example of word of mouth affecting sales. Children preferred the best-selling Pitfall. Herbert and Kistner commented that the large number of produced cartridges may have resulted in excess inventory regardless of each success. Even though the game was a bestseller during the holiday season, retailers still stated that the sales figures did not meet the expectations. Warner Communications also expressed disappointment in the number of sales. Said that even though the movie was a success, critics didn't like it. It received some positive reviews, but a lot of critics bemoaned the game's repetitive use of falling down holes to get the pieces. Impact. Oh god. E.T. is often cited as one of the most important video games. It's also one of the earliest video games based on a movie. GamePro, Game Trailers, and Bowden cite the game as the first poor quality film video game tie-in. As early as January 1983, after Atari admitted the game sold poorly, an industry executive said that the lesson of E.T. has not been lost on the industry. So, it makes me wonder, because nowadays you see a game that's real popular, people think it's going to be real popular, but then not enough copies are sold. So it makes me wonder if they this is just my personal thoughts, if maybe they underthink how much would be sold just in case this happens again. I mean, because with the numbers, that's a very devastating thing. You know, millions of copies not being sold and supposedly being in this landfill. So, in September '83, I can't say this city's name. Their daily news reported a series of articles that between 10 and 20 semi-trailer truckloads of Atari boxes, cartridges, and systems from an Atari storehouse in El Paso, Texas were crushed and buried in a landfill within the city. It was Atari's first deal with the landfill, which was chosen because no scavenging was allowed and its garbage was crushed and buried nightly. Atari officials and others gave differing reports of what was buried, but it has been speculated that most unsold copies of Ichi are buried in this landfill, crushed and encased in cement. The story of the buried cartridges was erroneously regarded as some of an urban legend, with skeptics, including Warshaw, disregarding the initial accounts. But then that was proven that it was true on May 28th, 2013, and on April 26, 2014, remnants of E.T. and other Atari games were discovered in the early hours of the excavation. In December 2014, the Smithsonian Institute added an excavated cartridge of E.T. to their collection. In 2015, the Henry Ford Museum added several excavated cartridges and a video touchpad. Forgot about the video touchpad. And a sample of landfill dirt taken from the site of the burial. And items of clothing worn by the excavation team for their collection. A selection of these items are on permanent display. In 2006, Dennis Debro disassembled E.T., added comments to the generic source code, and released it for free. In February 2013, based on the source code, programmer David Richardson released several unofficial fixes to the game. Patches included removal of pixel perfect collection detection, which caused E.T. to fall into a pit every time his sprite touched a pit entry. Yeah, that was annoying because you just get close to a pit like that much and you fall in. And then you waste so much energy trying to get back out of the pit because most pits have nothing in them. So, Now for the second game. Hopefully their wiki isn't at... Oh yeah, the wiki is a lot shorter, thank gosh. Ooh. The second game that my cousin and I played that's really obscure, and it's also a game based off an alien, is the video game Alf. Now this video game was released for the Sega Genesis, or the Sega Master System. Again, it was a game that I had because I loved Alf, and I'll talk more about it in the next Vlogmas video. But Alf is an action-adventure video game developed by Nexa and released by Sega for the Master System in 1989. It's based on the American television series Alf. Players control the title character as he attempts to locate parts with which to repair his spaceship so he can meet up with his friends Skip and Rhonda on the planet Mars. The game is the only home console game based on the Alf television show. Other Alf games have been released for various computer systems, including Alf the First Adventure, the first Alf game, that I didn't know. A couple of entertainment games based on the character were also released in later years. Alf's U.S. Geography, oh my god, and Alf's Thinking Skills. That sounds like something for little kids. Although his thinking skills, if you know Alf, especially when it comes to cats. A player controls Alf, who must collect the necessary items and solve puzzles to repair Alf's spaceship. The game features several locations in which the player can roam freely. Alf's house. It's not Alf's house, it's the Tanner house. Alf is they're just letting him stay there until he can repair his ship. Street, basement of the house, Alf's backyard, again, the Tanner household backyard, and a pond in the backyard. Don't remember the pond, but okay. The player must collect various objects to progress in the game. A stick of salami. That was ridiculous. You literally get it from the fridge. Which can be used to deal with the bats. Scuba gear, allowing him to plunge to the bottom of the pond, and other objects. Items can be found as the game progresses and can also be purchased through the in-game store. Some enemies in the game can be defeated while others must be dodged, such as bats and street cyclists. Oh, I hate doing the street. The game was a side project for Kevin Skaghetti, who at the time was under the employment for Nexa, then integrated with Spectrum Wholebyte. Thought I saw my cat. Who in turn changed their name to Sphere. Although Skaghetti was not a fan of the Elf TV show, he worked heavily on the game's engine. The quality of the code he wrote was an improvement over the Master System version of Monopoly. Remember that one too. The artwork was done in deluxe paint, oh my god, and converted via a Commodore Amiga to become transferable character and map files. In later stages of development, Alf was lacking audio, and the producer John Saar did not have the adequate game design experience, with only a maximum budget of $200. Oh my god. He managed to find Randy Roseberry to compose music and sound with weeks of revision and cleaning up the game's code. The game was shipped by the end of 1989, overruling Saar's objection due to the crude quality of the product. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I don't remember if we actually beat the game. Yeah. It would be a game, along with Ichi, that I would want to go back and look over just to remember how bad it was. But yeah, oh my god. But anyways, so that's going to be all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, very obscure games. If you want to find some more obscure games that I did play back when I was younger, go ahead and leave a comment below, either on here or on Facebook. And I will see you all in the next Vlogmas video. Bye.